This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to the Pavan Software Training Center. If you didn't subscribe to my channel, you can subscribe to my channel Programming by Pavan, and you can follow me on my Instagram ID. For any new batches information, you can reach me on my number 7013088104. Right. Now, in this session, we are going to talk about how for loop is implemented in Python. How for loop is implemented in Python. You have some number, you have some collection of numbers like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. If you want to print them using for loop, how to print them? For every x in nums, just print x. Am I correct or not? Let me increase the font size. So this is the simplest way to print elements of a list, elements of a tuple, elements of a set, dictionary, and every element of a string data type also. But we don't know how exactly for loop is implemented in Python, and we will try to implement the same using while statement also we can. The way how for loop is behaving, the same behavior we can achieve using while also. As we discussed in one of our previous videos, what is an iterator and what is iterable. If you didn't watch that video, I will leave that video in the description box. From there you can find that video and you can watch that video so that you can understand the terminology called what is iterable and what is an iterator. How for loop is going to work? So vals equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. What is the code? For every x in vals, print x, automatically it will print all the values of the list, or it may be a tuple or it may be a set. In the background, you know how it is implemented. How it is implemented, let me tell you. So this is a iterable object. Every collection type is a iterable object. What is an iterable object? The object which contains dunder iter method. Am I correct or not? Dunder iter method. So internally on the vals object, which method is called? Dunder iter method is called. As you know, when iter method is called upon the object which is acting as a iterable object, then automatically one more object is going to be created. This is which object? This is iterator. This is which object? This is iterator. Iterator also contains a dunder iter method. Iterator also contains iter method, and also it contains two dunder methods. One is iter method, another one is the next method. So what will happen? These stream of values or collection of values, they are referred by this object also. But the benefit is it is having next method. When you call next, automatically we can fetch the values one after another. Let me repeat once again. When you mention any iterable object, on that iterable object iter method is called, it will return one object, which is a iterator. Iterator itself contains next method. So using next method of iterator object, we can fetch the values of this collection type one after another automatically. So internally on this object, what is called dunder next method is called, first it will return 10. That a 10 is referred by x and we are printing that x value. Immediately next method is called one more time, then 20 is going to be returned. Now 10 is gone. Now 20 is referred by same x, we are printing that value also. Again next method is called. So internally it is going to happen like this. Keep on calling next method, keep on calling next method until all values are fetched. The process will continue like this. Once all the values are fetched completely, if you call next method, is there any element to fetch from this list? No. Then next method will raise one error called as a stop iteration. As there are no elements, as there are no further elements, when you call next method, it will raise some error called stop iteration. When stop iteration error is raised, for loop will stop fetching the data, for loop will be stopped. This is the actual thing that will happen in the background when you run for loop. So can we implement the same thing? Can we implement the same thing in while loop? Using while loop, can we implement the same thing using while loop? Why not? Happily we can. So for loop behavior, I want to implement using while. So numbers equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. That's it. Now while true means what? Keep on executing the following block of statements. Keep on executing. If the point was clear, keep on executing the following piece of code. First of all, is that a nums contains any next method? No chance. So we will do one thing. On this iterable object, we will call iter method that will return some object. It will return iterator object. Now print on that iterator object, I will call next method. When you call next method, what will happen? It will return first value, then after next value, then after next value, then after next value. But can you please observe that there is a possibility this next method may raise a stop iteration when there are no more elements to fetch from the collection data type. When there are no more elements, then it will raise some error. So because of this piece of code, there is a possibility for the generation of the error. That a doubtful code, better we can keep inside the try block. Now, so every try block compulsory should have corresponding except block. Now tell me which except block. This except block should capable to handle an error of the type stop iteration. So when control will come to except block, when next method will rise means will throw. Actually rise means will throw. When this next method will throw an error called stop iteration. When this error is going to be raised? When there are no more elements. So it will search our PVM, Python virtual machine, will search, is there any suitable except block to handle that error? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Then if this exception is raised, what should I have to do? I don't have anything to do, just I can write a pass. Just I can write a pass. Now observe that let me run the module. Excellent. We got the same behavior. So this is what absolutely how the for loop is implemented in the background. First iter method is called, it is going to return iterator object. Call the next method, keep on calling. There is no end. When it is going to end, actually when there are no more elements to fetch, then automatically it will raise some error. If you do not handle that error, your program will be terminated abnormally. Assume after printing all the elements, I want to print all values are fetched successfully. This message I want to print. You may have a doubt, sir, why should we have to write a try block, sir? I don't want to write this try block. 1 minute, what happened? So I don't want to write this try except block. I do one thing, directly I can write next of object. Sir, can I call like this? Why not? Happily you can call like this also. There is a next method or dunder next, anything is acceptable. Now if you see what will happen after printing 10 and 20, 30, 40, I'm expecting output for this line, but unfortunately exception is raised and program is terminated abnormally. Which exception is raised? Stop iteration. Did you handle that? No, you didn't handle that. When an exception is raised and not handled properly, then what is the problem? Program gets terminated abnormally. For that reason, what should we have to do? Write the try block. Inside the try block, keep the doubtful code, except block, and what to write, I don't know. When stop iteration is raised, I have nothing to do. Then you can keep inside this block as a pass keyword. Now, indentation problem. Try print, you can call next also, no problem. Next object also you can except stop iteration, then after handling, what to do? If you don't know, you can write pass. Now let me run. Now this time I got the output. Let me show you one more time. 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now, sir, can I call iter method like this also? Iterator. Can you please generate iterator for this iterable object? Is it valid? Will it work? Definitely it will work, no doubt at all. Clear, right? So this is the way how for loop is implemented. Right. That's all from my end.